winning mentality, championship programs, family traditions. Bearcat Update covers everything Northwest Missouri State sports. Welcome to another episode of Bearcat Update. As always, I'm your host, Calvin Silvers. While we are excited about another week of us being on our home court in the studio for Bearcat Update, the 12th ranked Northwest volleyball team did not have the same luxury. The women had to start out their home season playing in Hughes Fieldhouse rather than playing in Bearcat Arena, which is typically where they would play. So, how did this affect the Bearcats in their home opener? Our reporter Mackenzie Denning will give us a look at how the weekend went for the Bearcats.
On Friday, September 17th, the Northwest women's volleyball team played against the University of Central Missouri in Hughes Fieldhouse. The Bearcats ended up losing all 3 sets, but they played their hardest. After the game, I talked with the head coach, Amy Worth, to get her opinion on how she thinks the season will go.
NIAA is always stacked with the talent. You saw it tonight from the standpoint of UCM. Changes for tomorrow. We'll take it one night at a time, and I'll figure out what we're doing tomorrow when we get there. I just think they all have done a great job from the standpoint of how hard they're working. So not one single surprise, but I'm just always surprised how hard they're working every single day in and day out.
After talking with Amy, I spoke with some of the players to hear their thoughts on how they felt about the game and the leaderships that are on the team.
A lot of upperclassmen, our roster may say that a lot of us are sophomores or redshirt freshmen, but everybody's had a year of experience, or at least 2 years, and that's a lot of leadership, a lot of different mindsets, and that's able to lead us a lot of the times.
I love playing in front of, obviously, the Bearcat fans. I feel like if I were an opponent, it would be overwhelming, just like when you go and play and it's overwhelming in someone else's gym. But I think it's even more fun as a Bearcat because you know that everybody, the community is just so supportive, and it's just truly like a blessing to compete in front of a community that really does like care about you. So I would say as an opponent, obviously it'd be a little bit overwhelming, and I love how it's set up in Hughes, just having the surrounding of the fans.
Go to practice every day, give 100%. I think if we don't give 100% every practice, it's going to be hard to beat tough teams, or any team really. I have my teammates who I can rely on. They motivate me, and I hope I can motivate them to just be the best version of themselves and myself. Yeah, I think I have a lot of internally motivation since it's my last year, and since I want to make that big impact and want to win conference, win all those home games, everything, like away games, everything. So it's not really hard to motivate myself because my mindset is kind of like, let's do this one more time and let's do it well.
Northwest women's volleyball team is ready for action when they take on Missouri Southern next Friday, September 24th at home. This has been Mackenzie Denning with Bearcat Update.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Northwest split the weekend series with a 3-0 loss to UCM and was able to get back on track with a 3-1 victory over Missouri Western the following day. This moved the 12th ranked Bearcats to 1-1 in MIAA play and 8-2 overall. The team doesn't know how long they will be calling Hughes Fieldhouse their home, as construction crews are still working on rebuilding structural issues with the roof of Lambkin. This project started at the end of May, and a time on when it will be finished has not been revealed by Northwest officials. For now, all athletics have avoided the use of Lambkin, which is typically used for preseason practices and workouts. For now, athletes have been using Hughes Fieldhouse, Martindale, and each sport's respective sports field for training. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will show the highlights from Bearcat Soccer's last-second victory against their MIAA rivals. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. The Northwest women's soccer team is in full swing of their 2021 season. Prior to MIAA play, the Bearcats kicked off the season 2-0 with wins over Sioux Falls and Wayne State, which is their best start since 2014. The women dropped 3 straight games, including a loss to conference foe Central Missouri, and things weren't looking great with a stacked slate of MIAA teams down the stretch of their schedule. But the Bearcats were able to turn the tide with a last-second upset against the 13th ranked Missouri Western Griffins on Sunday. Our reporters Chase Chambers and Hunter Helming captured the dramatic 2-1 victory for Northwest.
Classic rivalry, game to the wire. Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats would play Missouri Western State University Griffins at Bearcat Pitch 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon. The game was a steady back and forth 0-0 until with 13 minutes left in the half, Northwest Missouri State University center number 24 Adele Gore would score, at which that gave Northwest a 1-0 lead going into the second half. However, quickly into the second half, Missouri Western State University would score a quick goal of their own by forward Carly Zablaudy, number 28. This goal would tie the game 1-1, and the game would remain this way until the last 7 seconds of the game, where Tegan Blackburn, number 28 forward for the Bearcats, would score the last goal. This was a much-needed win after their last defeat Friday night. Here is Mark Gordon with Afterthoughts.
I felt like the team, even through some of the challenges and things and mishaps that we had in the game, they continue to work through those to keep playing hard and trying to find ways to break them down.
Here's Tegan Blackburn with her afterthoughts after that game-winning goal.
Today we honestly just kind of had a good talk, and we were saying, especially with the coach, we were saying we just need to step back and play our game. We don't need to amount to any other team or play their style of game. We just need to play our game. I was ready to give it all our team had with the last 3 minutes left, and if we had to go over in overtime, that would be not ideal, but it'd be fine. We just had to get that mentality to at least try to score a goal in this last 3 seconds.
Reporting for Bearcat Update, this has been Chase Chambers and Hunter Helmig.
Thanks, guys. The Bearcats have now played 3 top 25 teams in the first 6 games of the season, including number 3 Grand Valley State, 18th ranked Central Missouri, and of course, 13th ranked Missouri Western. The road for the rest of the season shows signs of optimism as seniors Tegan Blackburn and Kaylee Rock have led the charge as the top goal scorers on the team with a combined 6 goals so far this season, including Blackburn's game-winning goal with 6 seconds to go against the Griffins. The women will continue their stretch of 5 straight home matches at Bearcat Pitch, and we will see if they can build off of the home field advantage, which will continue September 24th against another battle-tested MIAA team in Missouri Southern. With that, we are going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. We will be talking about Northwest football and challenging 2 Bearcat volleyball players to a game of tennis. You're watching Bearcat Update on KNWT Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. Have you ever wondered if anyone possesses actual superpowers? The ability to fly? Becoming invisible? Spiking a volleyball over the net at 80 miles per hour? Well, Hannah Kolchel and Rachel Sturdivant have at least one of those superpowers, but our reporters Maddie Gerhart and Noah Stevens challenged them to try their skills at tennis this week to see if they have the same velocity over a different kind of net. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, this is Maddie Gerhart. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. Today I'm here with 2 of our Bearcat volleyball players. Hi, I'm Hannah Kolchel. And I'm Rachel Sturdivant. And we're going to ask them some questions about their upcoming season. So you guys have already played in several tournaments already this fall, and of course a couple games, and you're starting off with the season 7-1. What's it kind of like coming into the season already with a good footing?
I mean, it was obviously awesome to start out that strong, but it's definitely exciting that we got to win 7 out of our 8 games. So really good start, and I think we're ready for the season. I think this team has a lot of potential, so yeah, I'm just really excited.
So what are some of your guys' both personal and team goals for both this season and of course postseason?
So our team goals, we have 4 team goals set in place. Our first one is a 20-win season. Our second one is to win at home. The third is to be regular season champions and postseason champions.
And then for personal, Rachel and I are seniors, so obviously we want to make this a good last year, make an impact on the Northwest volleyball team, just kind of leave a legacy here, just get our younger girls to know what our culture is and stuff. I think we can go all the way, and I really I'm excited to see if we can.
So you've seen these Bearcat volleyball players kill it here at Lambkin. Let's switch up the environment. Woo! We're here at the Bearcat tennis courts. We've seen these 2 volleyball players compete at the highest level in DG sports. Let's see if they can swing a racket. First challenge, get as many consecutive hits as possible. Last person to get it inside the box wins. Hannah on one side, Rachel on the other. Let's start. Ready? Yes! Yes! Oh my God! Next up, rapid fire questions. Rachel's first. What's a weird food combination you really enjoy? Macaroni and ketchup. Biggest pet peeve? Oh, Alyssa has to give me a mint, and she has to put it in my spandex. Biggest pet peeve?
Rachel.
When Hannah looks at me. Where do you get your news? Bearcat Update. We're all in. After a long evening of competing, I could say these two volleyball players could take a 5th year in tennis. Other than that, catch them this Friday at Hughes Fieldhouse at 6 o'clock as they take on Missouri Southern. Other than that, I'm Maddie Gerhart.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Rachel. Back to you, Calvin.
Thanks, Maddie and Noah. I don't know if I plan on lining up on the other side of the court if these Bearcat athletes are playing, especially considering Sturdivant already has 82 kills this season. But good luck to the Bearcat volleyball team on the rest of their season. As we mentioned last week, the Northwest football home opener against Lincoln University was canceled due to COVID-19 concerns, and this week the Bearcats are facing another setback. Junior quarterback Braden Wright is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks of the season after undergoing an emergency surgery, as reported by John Walker. The surgery treated a potential life-threatening condition known as midgut volvulus, which is the twisting of the intestines. Wright has been the Bearcats starter since 2018, collecting over 1,200 rushing yards and 4,400 passing yards along with 65 career touchdowns. The news of Wright's surgery went public just a couple hours before the third-ranked Bearcats were set off to face against Central Missouri. With Wright's injury, starting punter Mike Hohensee was named the starting quarterback for the contest. Hohensee and the Bearcats jumped on the board early, though, scoring 21 unanswered points in the first quarter. The defense held a shutout for a majority of the game, eventually giving up a touchdown with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. But that would be the Mules' only score of the game, though, as Northwest cruised to a 47-7 victory and a 2-0 record on the year. The Bearcats proved that they can play through adversity, at least for now. They head home for the first home game of the season this coming Saturday against Central Oklahoma. Expect a loud homecoming for the Bearcats, who haven't hosted a home game yet this season. All this segues us into our next segment, which is the Player of the Week. Our Player of the Week this week is junior Mike Hohensee. In the first week of the season, Hohensee was named MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week. The junior punted 7 times for an average of 41.4 yards per punt. 4 of those were down inside the 20-yard line, including 2 at the 1-yard line. Fast forward 2 weeks against UCM, Hohensee was named starting quarterback hours before the game. Hohensee threw for 4 touchdowns and added 2 rushing touchdowns while still serving as the team's starting punter. He's proved to be a spark plug in multiple different ways for the Bearcats offense and special teams, and for that reason, Mike Hohensee is our Bearcat Update Player of the Week. That's going to wrap things up for this week's episode of Bearcat Update. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BearcatUpdate_8 and catch all of our previous episodes on our YouTube, KNWT Channel 8. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Winning mentality, championship programs, family tradition. Bearcat Update covers everything Northwest Missouri State sports.